Dom, Cobb and Arthur are skilled extractors, specialists in corporate espionage who use experimental dream-sharing technology to enter other people's dreams and steal secrets directly from their subconscious minds. By carefully constructing shared dream environments, they can manipulate their targets and extract valuable information without the victim realizing what has happened. During one of their missions, they attempt to extract secrets from a powerful businessman named Saito. Although the operation ultimately fails, Saito is impressed by Cobb's rare ability to navigate complex dream layers within dreams. Instead of punishing him, Saito offers Cobb a new job, one that is considered nearly impossible. Rather than stealing an idea, Cobb must plant one deep inside a person's subconscious, a process known as Inception. The target is Robert Fisher, heir to a massive corporate empire owned by his dying father, Maurice Fisher. If Cobb can convince Robert to break up the company after his father's death, Saito's rival business will collapse. In exchange, Saito promises to use his influence to clear Cobb's criminal record so he can finally return to the United States and reunite with his children. To carry out such a complicated mission, Cobb assembles a specialized team. Arthur remains his trusted partner and point man, responsible for maintaining order within the dream layers. They recruit Eames, a talented forger who can impersonate people within dreams, Yusuf, a chemist who develops a powerful sedative strong enough to keep multiple dream layers stable, and Ariadne, a brilliant architecture student tasked with designing the dream worlds themselves. Cobb cannot design the dreams personally because his subconscious is haunted by projections of his late wife, Mel, whose unpredictable appearances could sabotage the mission. Ariadne quickly learns how dangerous dream construction can be, especially when a dreamer's subconscious begins to populate the world with projections that defend against intruders. After Maurice Fisher dies, the team begins the mission aboard a long-haul flight to America, secretly purchased by Saito. Using Yusuf's sedative, they place Robert Fisher into a shared dream with 3 separate layers. To wake everyone safely, the team coordinates synchronized kicks, sudden sensations that jolt the dreamers awake. These kicks must occur simultaneously across all levels, timed using the song Non, Ge Ni Regret Rain, which plays in the first dream layer as a signal. In the first dream level, set in a rainy city, the team kidnaps Robert Fisher. However, they quickly encounter unexpected resistance. Robert's subconscious has been trained to defend against exactly this kind of intrusion. Armed projections attack the team, turning the dream into a dangerous battlefield. During the chaos, Saito is shot and badly wounded. Cobb reveals a disturbing complication. Because of Yusuf's powerful sedative, dying in the dream will not wake them up as usual. Instead, it will send them into limbo, a raw and unstable world formed from the deepest levels of the subconscious where people can become trapped indefinitely. As the mission continues, Cobb confides in Ariadne about his troubled past with Mal. Years earlier, he and Mal experimented with dream-sharing technology and accidentally became trapped in limbo together. Because time moves dramatically slower there, they experienced what felt like 50 years in that subconscious world during a single night in reality. Eventually Cobb realized they were trapped in a dream and convinced Mal to escape with him by dying in limbo, which would wake them up in the real world. However, when they returned to reality, Mal remained convinced that she was still dreaming. Believing the only way to wake up was to die again, she committed suicide and framed Cobb for her death, hoping it would force him to follow her. While Yusuf drives the van in the first dream layer, evading attackers during a high-speed chase, the rest of the team enters the second dream layer, a luxurious hotel designed by Arthur. There, Cobb manipulates Robert into believing Browning has kidnapped him to prevent him from dissolving the company. Pretending to be a helpful projection of Robert's subconscious, Cobb convinces him that the only way to uncover the truth is to descend deeper into another dream level. The third dream layer takes place in a heavily fortified alpine stronghold where the team plans to stage the final step of the Inception. Inside the fortress, Robert will confront a projection of his father and internalize the idea that he should build something of his own rather than simply inherit and preserve the empire. However, events spiral out of control when Yusuf's van accidentally plunges off a bridge too early, triggering the first kick ahead of schedule. This forces Arthur and Eames to improvise their own synchronized kicks in the deeper layers, Arthur using a gravity-defying elevator explosion in the hotel and Eames rigging explosives throughout the fortress. At the critical moment, Mal's projection appears again, driven by Cobb's lingering guilt. He shoots Robert before the Inception can occur, killing him and sending him into limbo along with the dying Saito. With time running out before the kicks occur, Cobb and Ariadne descend into limbo to rescue Robert. There, Cobb finally confronts the truth about Mal's death. During their time trapped in limbo years earlier, he planted the idea in her mind that their world was not real in order to convince her to escape. Unfortunately, that idea continued to grow after they woke up, ultimately driving her to suicide. Realizing the damage he caused, Cobb lets go of his guilt and allows Mal's projection to fade. Ariadne kills the projection and pushes Robert off a building, giving him a kick that wakes him back into the third dream layer. Back in the fortress, Robert experiences the carefully constructed moment of Inception. Inside a safe left by his father's projection, he finds a childhood pinwheel and hears what he interprets as a final message from Maurice Fisher, that Robert should not simply follow in his father's footsteps but create something meaningful for himself. Believing the idea is his own realization, Robert accepts the desire to break up his father's empire. As the synchronized kicks ripple upward through the dream layers, the team members awaken one by one. Cobb remains behind in limbo to find Saito, who has aged into an old man after what feels like decades in that dream world. Cobb reminds him of their original agreement, prompting Saito to remember reality. Moments later, everyone wakes up safely on the airplane. When the plane lands in Los Angeles, Cobb passes through immigration without trouble for the first time in years. Reunited with his father-in-law, he finally returns home to see his children. Before joining them, Cobb spins Mal's totem, a small spinning top used to determine whether he is in a dream or reality, since it spins endlessly in dreams but eventually falls in the real world. Top spins on the table as Cobb walks away to embrace his children. Camera lingers on the spinning top, leaving the final outcome and whether Cobb is truly awake ambiguous.